With this video, you will get access to a full guide to the mooncakes. First thing you want to know is where they come from, the history, everything that you need to know about the Mid-Autumn Festival. Second thing we're gonna do, we're gonna be reviewing, I like to use the word, but actually eating many Yuebing, over 30 mooncakes, and telling you all the differences among these categories, varieties of mooncakes. The third thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna get until the very end by showing you how to make a proper Yuebing at home. So we first gotta know the mooncakes as seen during the Mid-Autumn Festival, and it always happens during the 15th day of the 8th month of the lunar calendar. It's happening basically on the same day of the full moon. It is a tradition that is symbolizing good luck, the harvest time, prosperity. But how did we get to the Mid-Autumn Festival? Who was the guy that woke up one day and said, today we have to celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival? And who was the guy that really said, I wanna have mooncake during this day because it's mooncake day? You? Me? Actually, the early form of the Mid-Autumn Festival is really coming from a very, very ancient time. We're talking about the Zhou dynasty. That is, this dynasty said, we gotta worship the moon. The moon is king. When I worship the moon is gonna give something back to us, maybe during the harvest time. But at that time, it was something very limited to the top level class of the society. But then general people started to really believe this, and they started with worshiping the moon as well. That's how it became really a big thing. So big times going on during the 战国时期, which is the warring states, happening a little bit in conjunction with the first appearance of the Roman Empire. It was during that time that the Mid-Autumn, this kind of concept, was actually created. And the concept was actually mainly referring to a particular time of the year where people could actually see a big full moon and they could send her their wishes. That's how sacrificing to the moon literally became one of the customs at that time. It was actually during the Yuan dynasty where people started to actually eat mooncakes. So yeah, it was during that time mooncakes were actually used also with rebels, messages inside. But it's all great festivals we're seeing around the world. Also, the Mid-Autumn Festival has a legend behind it. So in the ancient time, there were 10 suns. When you have 10 suns, it's just too hot. We have one sun and it's already getting hot, global warming and all that kind of stuff. So harvest wasn't really good. So in that precise time, a hero stood up, shot 9 of them, and his hero name is Hou Yi. So this great hero was actually living very happily on the earth, a beautiful lady, Chang'e. And the Queen of Heaven said she had an elixir ready for Hou Yi. So by drinking this elixir, Hou Yi would have become a god ascending to heaven. What happened then? As all the legend, there's bad guys, but this bad guy was really a bad guy. He knew about the elixir. And what he did, this bad guy was getting into Hou Yi's house when he was not there to steal the elixir. That's where the tragedy came in. Chang'e, in order to save this elixir from the hands of this bad guy, think about this guy ascending to the heaven, becoming God. Bad things would have happened to us. What she did was drinking the elixir. She knew that she was gonna leave the earth and of course her husband forever. So what she did when she ascended to heaven was that she found the very close place to earth, which is the moon. So Chang'e went on heaven, was on the moon, and of course, lonely. And Hou Yi as well on earth, lonely, wondering about, where Chang'e would have been. So Hou Yi, every time in the day of the full moon, he would place on his table all sort of dishes that Chang'e liked. In that way, she could really become part of his sort of moment and dinner and really sort of feel her there with him. That's how this tradition really expanded into the masses, and everyone was just, celebrating the same way, eating great food and, with mooncakes as well, celebrating the moon during this particular time. The second question we want to answer today is, how many varieties of mooncakes do we really know? From the very special ones to the most traditional ones. And we are going to review today, just for you, over 30 mooncakes. So the Cantonese mooncakes are definitely some of the most traditional and popular ones. With golden brown skin and a sweet filling, they're usually made with lotus seed paste, red bean paste, mung bean paste, or maybe mixed nuts. And the outside part has got all these carvings on it, and sometimes it's describing the actual filling. Look at this. Wow, that's not a full moon because of course I haven't cut in half, but it's a half moon. I guess that shouldn't be the meaning of the festival. But yeah, we can see that there's a salted egg yolk inside, and on the outer part there's definitely a red bean paste. And this is one of the most traditional ones. That's actually red bean plus the salted egg yolk. You gotta understand that mooncakes are very dense, you know? So whenever you have a piece in your mouth, it's going to really explode into flavors. And I love the combination between the red bean paste that is, of course, in China, is with thing, and the salted egg yolk. So it's really sweet and savory at the same time. It's beautiful. It should be looking like 2 full moons. I mean, it's definitely 1.5, but it's definitely representing a nice full moon with a dark background given by the red beans. I give it a 9. All right, guys, so we got the second one. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? This is actually reminding me of one of the major flavors together with the red bean mooncake, which is the lotus seed paste. So whiter in the color, still with the salted egg yolk in the middle. We got 2 here as well. We like it. It's a double. Whoa. I give this 6.5 because I think it's too sweet and I think it's too thick. Wow, it's hard. Look at this, all the nuts in here, and I think these are stuck together through a paste that is made by pork as well. That's quite something. I love the way the nuts inside are crunchy and, you know, are stuck together with this soft paste, so it's crunchy and soft at the same time, and it's not too sweet. So I give it a 7.5. Still, I think lagging behind in terms of flavors in a way as compared to the first one. This is actually a special one. We've got the black sesame seeds inside. As we can see, there's also a nice salted egg yolk. Oh, it's beautiful. I love the flavor of the black sesame seed, but I think they've probably exaggerated with the sugar. This is definitely 8.5. Right, fifth one, there's definitely a huge egg yolk in the middle. It has a thicker outer pastry, and it's definitely more sort of fluffy than the rest. I think it's still a red bean paste. That's weird. Give it a 4. I think the salted egg yolk, the flavor was too strong, so the dark salted egg smell was just too overwhelming for the rest of the mooncake. Let's go ahead with the 6th mooncake, and it's gonna be a small one this time. Still using plain mooncake, and it's still using some red bean paste. I give it a 5, you know. Definitely too sweet. It's losing its red bean flavor, and yeah, it's too sweet. All right, guys, I'm a bit excited because we're moving from the sweet mooncakes. It's time for one of the most beautiful recipes of the Cantonese cuisine, cha shao, barbecued pork. Look at these colors. It's nice cured meat inside, barbecued meat actually, and you can feel some nuts as well. It's got a beautiful smell. I'm a big fan of barbecued meat in Cantonese style. I'm not a big fan of this with the mooncake. I think the flavor profile is too complex for me to really try to get it properly. I give it a 6 because, you know, that's cha shao, you know. Time for some cured ham. We're moving with some Win腿月饼. Try smoked peas. I personally believe that's probably not the case for the Cantonese style mooncakes to have cured meat inside. But yeah, it's still a 6 as the cha shao. Okay, so this is going to be again the 5-nut mooncake. Hopefully it's gonna be better than with the one we tried before. Okay, so this one is definitely better than the one we had before. It's actually quite nice. Right, I give it a 7. It's a good one, but I think, you know, still probably going too much with the sugar. Let's see this. Okay, that's a full moon mooncake. So we can see a white paste here, and it's definitely using some lotus seed. There's a salted egg right in the middle. 4. They have a very strong flavor coming from the salted duck egg, and I think it's really overwhelming. I'm very happy now to start with another family of mooncakes. This time we're moving straight to Yunnan, one of my favorite provinces here in China, and we are going to try the Yunnanese mooncakes. The outer part is completely different. The pastry is completely different than the one we had before. It's less greasy, you know, we cannot really see any, you know, oil in here. Look at this spectacular of the cured ham with sugar, lard. This is keeping everything together. The crust is really looking like a biscuit. Wow. It's definitely a 9. I'm Italian and I'm probably too much into prosciutto and all of that. I personally love the feeling of the ham inside. Doesn't bother me to have the cured ham with sugar. All right, so we got the second of the Yunnanese mooncakes. So I say we got the same thing. We can see that there's definitely more ham inside rather than sugar and lard. It's probably going to taste, you know, more savory. Oh wow, no way. So this is a big surprise for me because it's got the roses and the cured ham. So it's actually merging the two traditions of Yunnan pastries. So definitely a 9.5, one of the best mooncakes I've ever had so far. All right, let's move along with the third Yunnanese mooncake. I can see that there's crystals, probably sugar. I can see some ham, but it's not very promising. I don't personally love it. It's a 6. It's okay, you got ham, but sugar is too thick, so you get all these crystals in your mouth. Let's try the fourth. This way, the Yunnan style mooncakes have sort of adopted with the salted egg yolk tradition. Here we go. It's okay. I think it's a 7. I don't know if I would have it as a snack, you know. Cured ham, I mean, it's savory, and you have the salted egg as well, which is double the savory sort of feeling. All right, guys, we are ready with the third category of the mooncakes, and this time we're moving right to Suzhou. Different kind of style, a different pastry to a different sphere of the mooncakes. A funny thing about these mooncakes is that they don't have carvings on the top, but they have, you know, a sign that is a stamp. So I'm gonna start from the xian, which is actually talking about the filling is normal meat dumplings. Look at this. It's looking like a baozi, you know, one of those buns, you know, it's looking like a dumpling. That's interesting. I think that we're going to give a 7 to this one. I'm not personally in love with the idea of having a dumpling and such a pastry. I'd rather have dumplings, you know, like the quote here. All right, guys, so the second of the Suzhou style mooncakes, and we have some crab meat inside. I love crabs, seafood inside, very little sugar, so it's very clear. It's a savory pastry. This for me is a 9. We're gonna try the third one, capon, but I think that we're talking about beef. So I think we have the same problem as before. It's still imagining to have a dumpling, you know, with meat. I think for me, it's not the right way of enjoying it. I still give it a 7 because flavor-wise is okay. Wow, we have an interesting one. So that's Yuan, the character of clouds, but also the character of Yunnan. Yeah, I give this a 5, you know, too sweet. This one is gonna be an interesting one because it has salmon yu, which is salmon. I give this an 8, but it's actually very balanced. Salmon, another, you know, sort of sweeter pastry, beautiful. And this time it's going to be a Yuebing with, let's see what we got here. They told me it's a surprise. Oh no, that's crawfish, guys. I give this an 8, and I think it's beautiful the way the crawfish is cooked inside with a little bit of chili and the Sichuan peppercorn as well. Okay, look at this. That's it. Still with cured ham. The same problem as before. Cured ham is not really fitting with the concept of the Suzhou pastry itself. Wow. This is called lava custard mooncake. Wow, it's a very nice one. I give it an 8, but I probably get to 9 if we keep it warm, bake it for a few seconds. I think the lava will be coming out even more nicely. And here we are with the fourth category of our mooncakes, jelly mooncakes. Jelly mooncakes, 水晶月饼, are very famous because of the look. And the actual jelly is made using agar-agar powder. All right, so we're gonna start with the first one, the pinky one. It's actually the first time I'm having jelly mooncakes. Never had these before. So they have a very nice sauce sort of filling inside. Oh, it's actually more like a paste. This one, oh, okay, the smell is perfectly clear. This is grapefruit. Oh, jelly, it's chewy. It's not too sweet. The filling inside is actually quite good. Not too sweet. I give it a 6. You know, that's because I think it's going too far away from the traditions. And here we have the second flavor of the jelly mooncakes. So this is smelling like tea, and it has some hint of peach. Give it a 6 as well. It's definitely not the mooncake that you're expecting to have, probably for this important festival. And it's time to leave this category. We're moving to the fifth category of mooncakes. This time it is about time to try the snow skin mooncakes. See, the snow skin mooncakes are very different from traditional mooncakes because these are not baked. You just need some glutinous rice flour mixed with other ingredients, and is giving you a smoother texture with different fillings, if you like, inside. We're gonna start from this one here that is looking incredibly nice. No, it's wrong. Oh no. Yeah, I give it a 3. I don't personally like it, and it's like having a cheesecake with too much of cheese and too much sugar at the same time. Let's do a nice cut here with the chocolate. Oh, look at this. Ooh, okay, it's contaminating the cheesecake. It tastes like, you know, tangyuan. I like it, you know, it's chocolate. Who doesn't love chocolate? I give it a 7, and I mean, it's not an 8 or a 9 because it's probably gone too far away from traditions. The third one, okay, that's lava custard coming out. I have to give this a 5 because it's putting so much salted egg yolk inside, and it's really becoming overwhelming. And I think it's not melting very well with the rest of the mooncake itself. Of course, you know, glutinous rice is soft, and then you've got, you know, the dense sort of thick paste of salted egg, and it's just not creating any contrast. It's been a long journey, but we're not gonna stop here. We're going to try the 6th category of the mooncakes here. 桃山皮月饼 are using white beans to prepare the crust, so they don't need to be baked, and they can be prepared in different colors, add things inside. Very popular nowadays in China, but of course also in other countries around Asia. These are usually in a smaller size, so they can be easily managed by people on personal use. Starting from this one. Okay, surprise. Lava custard inside, and there's a salted egg on the outer part. It is an 8. I like, you know, the way the crust is smooth and it's not too greasy. And I'm about to try the second one. It's actually using some lemon paste inside. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I like the lemon with the, I think it's probably lotus seed paste. The way the lotus seed paste is sweet. It's a beautiful combination. It's definitely an 8 above. Let's see this one. Okay, it's pretty cool. Yeah, love it. 8.5, same as the lemon. Very balanced. The third, it's a 5. I don't really know what the flavor is. The fourth, lychee flavor, beautiful, 8.5. Woo! There's chocolate, but there's also whitish sort of thing. Chocolate, strawberry jam, mooncakes, too sweet. It's definitely a 5. 展的城头. I don't know what that means, but it seems like one of the sentences that young people use. 80的边. Well, not this one. That is from Chengdu, local language to say it's cold. 1. 3. It's like sakura, too sweet. Don't like it. It's a 4. Natural mango. It's salted egg, but too sweet with the rest of the mooncake. Still a 4. That's kiwi and banana. Better than the previous ones, but still very sweet. It's a 5. The big, massive mooncake. Look at this piece of mooncake. A giant piece of mooncake. Look at the cravings on top, you know, so beautiful. I think that red beans and salted egg yolk is the perfect wedding. So it's an 8, definitely. 6 different categories of mooncakes. They all share the same story in common, which is a story of a great public holiday. Stay with us because we've got the third part of this video, and that's going to be the real cooking. We're gonna make a red bean mooncake.